start with what's your name and what's your business?
All right. My name's Lianne Horne, and my business is called Grit Studios. It's online personal training.
Okay. Then it was describe your business, which you just really basically did. Where are you originally from?
Ontario, Canada.
Is the weather better here or there?
Well, let me just make that. I would say here,
Here.
without a doubt. I'm not a fan of the cold winters.
Do you ever go up there and visit on the winters?
Yeah.
Did you ever ice
But
fish?
it's like when where I'm from, it gets minus 30, minus 35, lots of snow. Not my cup of tea.
Not anymore anyway, right? What made you decide to do this as your business?
Well, I was an athlete all my life. And then I came to University of Georgia from Canada. I ran track and cross country for UGA. And I always wanted to work in the field of fitness. And so I just decided, I used to be a recreation therapist. I worked with adolescents and children in the field of psychiatry. And I just decided I wanted to touch lives in a different way, really, in my passion. It's my passion is fitness and exercise. And so now I get to do that. I get to do what I love to do and hopefully touch some lives in the process.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What drives you to do what you do and what motivates you?
I want to be better. That's the first answer. And I want to help other people be better. And so I think I have such a cool gig because I get to watch people change, and it's usually for the better. It's rare that I work. It's never happened where I work with someone and they get worse, right? They get better emotionally, spiritually, and physically just from feeling better from the inside out, eh? So I think that motivates me the most. And then I have the opportunity to work with people. And that's a huge motivator for me. I've always been in social services in some way, shape, or form, but I get to do it now, doing the things I really like to do. So, I mean, I'm kind of in a win-win situation.
There you go. What is something most people don't know about you?
Most people know I'm gay. I have a wife. We have a 22-year-old daughter. We have a pretty amazing life. But probably most people know that already. Probably the fact I've got 27 years sobriety, clean and sober for 27 years. That's pretty much a secret that I don't necessarily share that with folks unless it's to help somebody. So I guess that's something that is now out there.
Yeah. Well, congratulations for that, because I know it's hard.
Yeah. Thank you.
My mother-in-law and father-in-law battled with alcoholism. So, and both of my grandparents did as well. So I know it's a hard battle.
Yeah.
So I congratulate you for the hard work.
Thank you.
What is something most people don't know about your business?
I had a personal training business in Candler Park in Atlanta. My wife and I have been here. We're in our 4th year. We just moved to Covington. So I had a studio in Candler Park in Atlanta that was awesome. It was myself and 4 other trainers. And when the pandemic hit, I closed my studio and I went completely online. So this online thing has been from the pandemic. So I've decided to stay online. So I guess that's how my business was definitely in person, lots of hugging, lots of touch, lots of in person sort of. And I never, ever thought that I would be able to touch lives the same online. And to my surprise, I've touched lives more. I didn't ever think this could be more intimate, but because there's no diversion, it's just me and whoever I'm working with. I'm telling people what to do over here, and they're doing it in their living room or their office or wherever they are. But it's working. So yeah,
it's more one-on-one. So
well, it's always been one-on-one, but there's no other. I've always done, either I usually have one person with me or I'm training 2 people at a time. I don't do much group fitness. And so it's always been one-on-one, but there's no other trainers. There's no other people in my studio. It's just this. And there's some intimacy to that is, I mean, I'm going into people's houses. It's, like you're in my studio now. It's the same kind of thing, It's
okay.
cool.
What would your customers say they love most about your business?
It's pretty organic. What you see is what you get, pretty much. Yeah. And I think they would say that they like how this gig is not just about fitness. Personal growth doesn't just happen on what you see. There's a lot of shit there's a lot of stuff that goes on from the inside, right?
Yeah.
And I think they would say, if you ask my clients, they would probably say that that's the thing that has helped them to be better physically, is being willing to grow fully, from a holistic standpoint.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. What's the most memorable experience you've had working with a customer or a client? However you want to.
Man, I am, there's just gold nuggets every freaking day. There are, I might see 10, 15 people a day, and I'm gifted all the time. But I have this one guy who's 79 that for about 2 months came into my studio. This is when I still had my studio, with his oxygen tank in tow. And we worked out with that, and that has stuck with me. Yeah, I'd say that.
Okay. Who from your childhood had the biggest impact on you?
Boy, I'd probably have to say my mom. It's a tough one between my mom and dad. My dad was a very physical guy, but my parents and my mother was not at all. So I had a real yin and yang, but my mom was a really, really strong woman. And growing up, I didn't always see that. As I became older and as I became a mother myself, I see that.
Yeah.
And so, right, I think that happens to everybody. All of a sudden, when we're parents, we're like, oh my, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it.
Exactly. It does. Right? It happens.
So my parents, but probably more, my mom, now that I'm able to look back, for sure.
Okay. And what did she teach you most?
Let's see. I would say she taught me to stand tall. Yeah. Okay. No matter what, just stand tall.
Okay. What's one memory from your childhood that stands out to you the most?
Man, my dad used to take us tobogganing, sledding. Right?
I know. I'm from Indiana. I get it.
Put on your head, eh? Toboggans up in Canada are, this So my dad would put myself in the front, my sister behind me, my brother behind her, and my dad would be in the back, wrapping his legs around all of us, shooting down a huge hill. And he thought I was the most safe because I was the youngest, and it was the opposite. The snow was like pelting me in the head, and but those we did that a lot. And my dad took us as kids when he wasn't working. We were playing somehow.
That's fun. I'm originally from Indiana, so I understand tobogganing. I get it. We're
There
not
you
that.
go. Okay.
I'm from the north, but not as far north as you.
Hear
My
that.
mother-in-law and father-in-law they lived in Minnesota for years. So
Okay.
they weren't too far either, but
Yeah.
but,
Well, then you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
What else do you like to do in Covington besides work?
Covington's growing on me slowly, but it is. And part of the reason it's slowly is I work a lot. And so, I am just starting to get out. We have a golf cart, which has really been cool. And so we can tootle around, and I think that's the neatest thing in the world, to be able to go all around. But and then the bike paths in Covington, we have been doing a lot of biking on all of the paths, which I'm just so they're cool, and that's just growing. I mean, they're going to attach to even more, and I run on them as well. So I do that the most, I think, here. I haven't gotten into the restaurant scene as much. I eat a vegan diet, and Covington is on its way, but it's got some ways to go when it comes to super healthy eating. So yes, I really want some restaurants to come in that are all about just, natural, plant-based, or just, a lot of plant-based options. They're getting better, and I'm hopeful that I think as this community starts to continue to grow and change and become more diverse and younger, I think that crowd will bring in those things. So I don't know if that answer your question or not.
We're not ready to give up that Southern food yet.
No.
So, let's see. What were the factors that made you choose Covington?
My wife, mostly. That's the first. The second is, and probably most important, really, our daughter. We came from the city of Decatur, and we brought our daughter up in the Decatur city school system, which is why we lived in Decatur. When she graduated high school and went off to Georgia Tech, we didn't have to stay and pay those taxes anymore in Decatur. And we wanted to, as your real estate agent, you know what I'm talking about, the Decatur city taxes. But we also, you get a lot more house for your buck in Covington. And that we got a brand new house that would have been twice as much easily in Decatur. We're right in the historic district. We're steps away from the square, which is really, really wonderful. So that's what brought us. We wanted to, we didn't want our daughter to have any college debt. So we moved out of the city of Decatur, bought a house that we could afford so that we could, start her off on a successful path when she graduates. So that's it.
Okay. Let's see. Anything exciting going on that customers might want to know about in your business?
Every day. Not really. I do the same thing. My sessions are 30 minutes. I see people sometimes once, twice, 3 times, sometimes 4 times a week. It's in the comfort of wherever people are, whether they're in their homes or they're, I see people in parks. I see people, it's just wherever. They take their phone and off we go. And so that's exciting to me, that I can meet people where they are in the schedule that they live in. And the greatest thing that I didn't realize when I had a studio is people don't have to get in their car and drive to me. They can, here I am. They wake up in the morning, they get out of their pajamas, they roll into this room or wherever room I see them in, they work out with me, they get ready, they go to work and off their day. That's exciting, that's convenient, and our time is valuable. And so I think
if a young person asked you for advice on how to live their life, what would you tell them?
Authentically. How to live their life. My goodness. No, I think being authentic and living in my truth has been a long journey. And I think acceptance of self is huge. And being willing, I think, to move one day at a time, being teachable and being willing to grow throughout whatever difficulties are thrown at you. I think that would be the biggest thing, is just be authentic, regardless of the consequences. And sometimes the consequences aren't great, but if you can go through that, on the other side, there's some beauty. There's some pretty cool gold nuggets. But so yeah, I think I'd tell people to be young people, to be authentic and to stand tall, man. Young people today, they are like, they're in it. They don't back down. You know, people my generation, you know, they're a lot more fear-based. Young people, they're feisty. So I guess be authentic and continue being so feisty that change has to occur.
I remember being young. I was feisty when I was young, but then when I had kids, it was different. It was different.
Right? Right?
It definitely changes your mindset when you have kids, because it's like, I can't be like that because I could end up in jail. Then who's going to take care of my kids? Or if I climb up on something, I'm like, well, I could fall, and who's going to take care of my kids?
Hear that?
You know, your kids become like the whole center of everything, because it's like, who's going to take care of them if I get hurt?
Yeah, agree.
So I remember those crazy days that I could be wild and free, but now it's like, nope, tied down to children.
Yep.
Which I wouldn't change in any way, but
I agree.
We have touched on your current family situation. If you would like, we can elaborate, like what's your wife do, or?
My wife is she's a retired educator.
Okay.
And she also is the author of 2 children's books.
Oh.
One came out a year ago, and one is coming out July, I think. So that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
One of these days, you're going to have to interview her like this.
And what does the future hold for you?
Love. Straight up. Yeah. I think the future holds for me, you know, I look forward to watching our daughter just continue to flourish. She's starting her PhD program in August. And so continuing to love and support her and watch her do life is the near future for sure. Continuing to do my gig here, touch lives, and, you know, retire at some point. My wife's retired, so sharing that with her and doing all the things we love, that's probably in the future as well. So yeah, I got it going on. I'm hopeful and I'm excited about it.
And what's your daughter studying to do?
Botany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah, she's into plants. She studies. She's really interested, I think, to research fungi. She's into mushrooms and all that. You know, it's so funny. She's a little scientist, the farthest away from what I would have. You know, what I do here is just so different from her world in research, and it's awesome to watch.
Yeah. Well, it was nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you too, Wendy. Good luck with real estate and with education. And I'm glad that this connection happened, so that you know, I now know another real estate agent in Covington.